He asked, "Will you be my date for the weekend?" Little did he know, the woman he just asked out was a millionaire CEO. This is the story of Leo, a small-town mechanic with a heart of gold, and Isabella, a powerful executive tired of the city's superficial dating scene. Leo lived a simple life. His hands, though perpetually stained with grease, were skilled and honest. He found joy in fixing engines and helping his neighbors. He believed in genuine connections, something he felt was missing in the world. His biggest worry? Making enough to keep his small garage running and maybe, just maybe, finding someone who appreciated a simple guy like him. Meanwhile, miles away in a towering skyscraper, Isabella Thorne commanded a business empire. She had it all: wealth, power, and prestige. But her love life was a revolving door of men who were more interested in her bank account than her heart. Every date felt like a business transaction. She yearned for something real, something authentic. She was tired of the glitz and glamour and longed for a taste of the simple life she'd left behind. One Friday afternoon, Isabella's vintage sports car, a precious gift from her late father, sputtered to a halt on a quiet country road. Panic set in. She was stranded miles from the city with a crucial meeting looming. She looked around, and through the trees, she spotted a small sign. Leo's Auto Repair. Hope sparked. Pushing the heavy car, she finally reached the garage. There was Leo, humming a tune as he worked on an old pickup truck. He looked up, wiping his hands on a rag, and his friendly smile immediately put her at ease. "Looks like you're having a bit of trouble," he said, his voice warm and genuine. Isabella, used to being intimidating, found herself flustered. It just stopped," she stammered, pointing at her prized car. Leo's eyes lit up. "A classic beauty," he said, walking around it with admiration. "Don't worry, I'll have a look. I'm Leo, by the way." "Isabella," she replied, omitting her famous last name. Leo quickly diagnosed the problem, a faulty fuel pump. "I can fix it, but I'll need to order the part. It won't get here until Monday," he explained apologetically. Isabella's heart sank. Monday. She had to be back in the city. She explained her predicament, her voice laced with frustration. Leo listened patiently. He saw the stress in her eyes and felt a pang of sympathy. Then, an idea, both crazy and brilliant, popped into his head. He had 2 tickets to the town's annual Founders' Day festival that weekend, and his original date had just canceled. He barely knew this woman, but she seemed different. Taking a deep breath, he said, "I know this is a long shot, and please don't be offended, but I was supposed to go to our town festival this weekend. My date canceled. Since you're stuck here anyway, will you be my date for the weekend?" Isabella was stunned into silence. No man had ever asked her out so directly, so simply, without any hidden agenda. There was no talk of business, no mention of her status. It was just a man asking a woman out. A wave of curiosity and excitement washed over her. This was exactly the kind of authenticity she'd been craving. A genuine smile, the first one in a long time, spread across her face. "I'd love that," she replied. Leo found her a room at the town's only inn, a charming, rustic place run by a sweet old lady named Mrs. Gable. For the first time in years, Isabella slept without the hum of the city, waking up to the sound of birds instead of sirens. The next day, Leo picked her up for the festival. He wasn't in a luxury car, but his lovingly restored vintage truck. He handed her a bouquet of wildflowers he'd picked himself. Isabella's heart fluttered. No one had ever given her wildflowers before. The festival was a world away from her usual galas. They played carnival games, Leo winning her a giant teddy bear. They ate corn dogs and cotton candy, laughing as they got sticky. He introduced her to everyone, the baker, the librarian, the mayor. They all greeted her with open arms, not as a CEO, but as Leo's date. She felt a sense of community she'd never experienced. That evening, as the sun set, they sat by the lake. Leo talked about his dream of expanding his garage, not for wealth, but to teach local kids a useful trade. Isabella found herself opening up in a way she never had before, talking about the pressure of her job and her longing for a simpler connection. She saw in Leo a passion and a kindness that money couldn't buy. The weekend flew by in a blur of laughter, heartfelt conversations, and simple joys. As they shared a final dance under the festival lights, Isabella knew she was falling for the small-town mechanic. The thought of leaving on Monday felt like a physical ache. On Monday morning, Leo called her. "Good news? Your car is ready? And some other good news." He explained that an anonymous investor had just funded his garage expansion project, in full. The email said the investor was inspired by his community spirit. Leo was ecstatic, and Isabella's heart swelled with pride. She knew she'd made the right decision. When she arrived at the garage to pick up her car, the atmosphere was different. The question hung in the air. Was this the end? Leo, trying to be brave, handed her the keys. "Well, I guess this is it," he said, his voice softer than usual. Isabella looked at him, at the garage, at the town that had felt more like home in 2 days than the city ever had. She couldn't let this go. "Leo," she said, her voice firm, "I have a confession. I'm Isabella Thorne, CEO of Thorne Industries." Leo's eyes widened in shock. He'd seen her name in business magazines. He was speechless. "And," she continued, stepping closer, "I was your anonymous investor, because I believe in you, but that's not the most important thing." She took his greasy, capable hands in hers. "This weekend was the best weekend of my life. I don't want it to be just a weekend. I know our worlds are different, but I think I'm falling for you, Leo." Leo, recovering from his shock, broke into a wide, brilliant grin. He realized he didn't care that she was a CEO. He had fallen for Isabella, the woman who laughed at his jokes and wasn't afraid to eat cotton candy. "I'm falling for you too, Isabella," he said. He pulled her close, and right there, in the middle of the garage, he kissed her. It was a kiss that sealed the end of one chapter and the beginning of a beautiful, new, and unexpected love story. And so, the millionaire CEO and the small-town mechanic proved that love isn't about what you have, but who you are. It's about finding that one person who sees you for you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video.